I'm the Mademoiselle and Sasa Dizium Chanel. Welcome to another video. And for today's video, as you guys can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Haitians and the lottery, aka Bolet. Now, if you guys are just seeing me for the first time or you aren't aware, my dad has a gambling problem. It sucks. It's horrible. It's ruined my life. It's ruined my mother's life. But it's something that we've always had to live with. And many of you guys watching this more than likely have parents that are obsessed with Bolet. Now, I just found out recently that it is a widely Caribbean, Latin American thing where they have Bolet. Now, let me just explain what Bolet is. It's literally just a lottery, but it's a foreign underground illegal lottery situation, right? Many people have been arrested for having shell companies and shell businesses run these lotteries in their basement undercover. I've known people who have been deported because of running these underground lotteries, and I find it extremely fascinating because I personally didn't know it was like an everyone thing. Like, I thought it was just like a Haitian thing because I don't know, like, I've never really sat there and asked my friends like, hey, were your parents obsessed with like an underground illegal lottery? It wasn't until I was having this conversation with one of my friends who's from Dominica, and she was like, yeah, like my dad was obsessed with that shit too, but I forgot what she called it. And I was like, wow, like this is fascinating. And honestly, I want to probably do a video on like the origin and the history of this, but from what I can gather, I feel like maybe one day niggas saw what the lottery was and said, you know what, we can do the same, if not better, and just keep the profits, because realistically, that's genuinely what it is. So of course, when it comes to the underground illegal lottery situation, there's a lot of people that are just genuinely obsessed with it. They will take every dollar they make and put it into this lottery with the hopes of winning big and never having to work again. Now, these lotteries are not millions of dollars. If I'm not mistaken, it's like thousands. I don't even think it's hundreds of thousands. It's just like, it's a good lump sum if you win. And most of the time, especially when it comes to Haitians, they are banking on their ancestors to give them the numbers. Now, you guys are probably like, Ivana, what are you talking about? If you're not aware, most Haitians, okay, have like very strong spiritual abilities. I personally don't know where the hell this comes from, because for me, to a lot of friends that I have, to a lot of family members that I have, a lot of us just have spiritual abilities that we're not really able to explain. We just kind of have them, and we either use them for good or bad. As a lot of the stories that you guys have seen on this channel, a lot of people unfortunately do choose to use them for bad. But nonetheless, these powers are there. And some people actually have the power to determine Bolet numbers in their sleep via their ancestors and or deceased loved ones. Now, a lot of you guys already know what I'm talking about, and some of you guys are probably mad that I'm even talking about this right now, like, oh, y'all be talking too much on the internet. But I do feel like it does need to be talked about, because a lot of this obsession and, to be honest, this gambling addiction comes from somewhere. A lot of people, like especially my dad back in the day, my dad used to win Bolet all the time back in the day, specifically because he was getting the numbers from his mother that passed away. She would come to him in his dreams and give him the numbers. There's been a very few times, it hasn't happened to me often, like I receive answers from the dead in my dreams, spiritually, in general. Like everything I get for the most part is via candle or in my sleep. And there's been times I woke up like, what the fuck is 305? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I was standing at a street and it said 305, or I was at a house and it said 305. I was dialing a number and it said 305, and then I wake up and then I go check the fucking numbers, and to pick three, the numbers are 305, and I'm like, this has happened so many times. Like, and the crazy part is, for me, it didn't start happening until maybe a year or two ago. Like, my entire life, my parents knew that I was gifted, right? Because I was born with the veil. If you guys don't know what that is, it basically means, in English, it means being born en CAUL, not in a cow. Some people literally would type in, what do you mean that you were born in a cow? Anyways, I'm going to put the video down below, right? And it's very interesting because they didn't know what my gifts would be. They knew I can see things, but they didn't know I can communicate with things, and they didn't know that people can communicate with me. So my entire life, every time somebody passed away, oh, did you see such and such in your dreams? Did they give you any numbers? And I'm like, no. Maybe they did, but I didn't know how to decipher it. It wasn't until a couple years ago that I kept seeing numbers in my dreams. I'm like, I don't understand it. And it clicked for me like, oh my God, these are lottery numbers. And the only reason it clicked for me is because I have an aunt, right? Very wealthy. So I don't really talk about that side of the family much. I probably only mentioned them like maybe 3 or 4 times over the almost 10 years that I've been doing this, possibly on my personal and or main channel. I've definitely mentioned them. But nonetheless, these family members are rich. I'm talking about like mansion, doctors, lawyers, Rolls Royces, they're rich. I again don't talk to them, don't care for them because the way they act, like they be acting like they too good for niggas, and I don't have time for it. But nonetheless, like I'll never forget back in the day, like we went to their house for the first time. If you guys don't know, Queen Latifah is actually from Jersey, okay? And apparently at the time, I'm sure she probably still does. She lived in Jersey, so wherever the hell she lived at is exactly where these cousins was living at. That's how I knew they was rich because I was young. I wasn't that young though. I was probably in high school when we went to go visit them, and they were bragging like, "Yeah, Queen Latifah lives around the way." That that that. And I was like, "Oh, okay, y'all got money, money." We was going around the house, bro. Every room had a flat screen TV and a made bed. Like I've never seen wealth like that. Marble floors, fucking pool table on the shit was wild, grandiose, gorgeous house. And the main reason I really don't care to talk to them is because I'll never forget. Me and my cousins went, and we were meeting these new cousins, and we were speaking Creole to them, and they was just looking at us like, and we're like, "Ou pas parler Creole?" And they're like, "Huh?" And they went to their moms like, "Yo, what are they saying?" Their mom started laughing. And I'm looking at her like, what the fuck is so funny? And they were like, "Wait, we're Haitian?" They didn't know they were Haitian, y'all. They didn't know they were Haitian. And I'm going to film a video right after this that discusses this more in depth. Not telling your kids about Haiti is a disservice to them. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. It's problematic. I hate it. But again, that's another video for another time. But that shit, ever since then, I was like, oh, I'm not talking to these people. I don't give a fuck for these niggas. Okay, there was also a story I told you guys years ago about my aunt where this same family member, okay, you just heard me tell you guys how wealthy this lady is. She got money. All right, wanted me to bring my aunt down to her. It's over a 2-hour drive to where the fuck she's at, okay? She wanted me to bring my aunt to her, okay? Meanwhile, she was literally just in the area like a day or two prior and could have just picked her up. It's like, what do you think? You think I'm your servant, bitch? I will fuck you up. There's a lot of things, okay, surrounding that. But all that to say, okay, that lady's mom, okay, she actually did pass away. But that lady's mom came into wealth via their grandmother. So they had a great grandmother, or is it grandmother? Wait, okay, so you have the lady, you have her mom, and then you have the mom's mom. So let's just say great grandmother. The great grandmother was a mumbo. And I was like, oh, so we do have mumbos in the family. I know I was tripping. We have a few. But she was like the family mumbo, and she was healing people, like revealing secrets, doing all types of shit, like extremely powerful mumbo. And then she had her daughter. And by the time she passed away, her daughter kept having these dreams, and she would come to her with these lottery numbers, and these lottery numbers was hitting, and that's how they came into wealth. That's how they put their kids into school. They became doctors and lawyers or whatever. Well, not all of them. She's the one that became a doctor, but then she married like a lawyer or another doctor. The point is, them coming into money was what helped them put their kids into school and helped them acquire multiple properties. Like I'm talking about a majority of the properties, like even around me, they owned for a good amount of time because they were just they was hitting these lottos, they was hitting that Bolet. And I never understood it when it was told to me at the time. I was like, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? Like they was getting numbers in their sleep? But no, literally, they were getting numbers in their sleep. And I didn't understand it until it started happening to me. And I'm like, I don't understand why I keep having random numbers come to me. And I think I told my dad or my mom about it. No, I think I told my mom about it, and she's like, why didn't you tell your dad? He's always playing bullet. Like he's always, like playing that lottery shit. Like you should have told him because like he could win. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, like when they come to you with numbers, you play them numbers. And I'm like, oh. Well, I didn't fucking know. Like, she was like, bro, we've been saying this to you for years. Like, I know you heard it before. I'm like, yeah, but it didn't click. All right. So for a majority of people, they have the gift of being able to communicate with their ancestors or their loved ones. And if your loved one liked you like that, they will give you the numbers. Now, the funny thing about this is I've known a lot of people, okay, in my personal life who have done this, like who have gotten numbers from their family, their friends, or whatever that have passed away, and they've won big, okay? And I'm talking about American lottery, Haitian lottery, whatever. And I'm like, wow, I need to start paying attention. Like now, I really pay attention to the numbers in my dreams because I'm like, yo, I'm not one to gamble or anything, especially because my dad has a gambling addiction. And that's why I think I kind of shrugged it off in the beginning because I'm like, I'm not about to fuel my dad's gambling addiction by giving him numbers. And how about if I'm wrong? And she's like, nah, bro, like if you got these numbers, like you better go give them to somebody or you better play them yourself. But like, that's a blessing. Like you should play the numbers. And recently, it's interesting. I was on Facebook and I came across a mumbo. Apparently, they just be giving daily numbers on the messenger. I've never played them. I never said anything to anyone. I just kind of like be monitoring what's going on. And they're like, okay, here's the daily numbers for midday. Here's the daily numbers for the morning. And I'm like, this is some shit. Like, there's mumbles and ogos and shit just giving out numbers. There's a lot of like these voodoo priests and priestesses on Facebook. It's so interesting. I find it so fascinating because I didn't even know that this was like a big thing until like maybe a couple years ago. So I will say, right, if you are having dreams about numbers, go play that shit, okay? And give me 10% because I told you. When you win, okay, let me know and be like, yo, you was right. I know that it does sound crazy. And from what I see, especially for me, sometimes those dreams, like they go away super quick. It's like I wake up, I already forgot the numbers, right? So I'll say if you're having number dreams, make sure you write them down, okay? Make sure you are keeping track of these numbers. Make sure you're arranging them in a way that makes sense because imagine, and you guys are probably like, well, how do you know which one to play? Bitch, I don't know. I'm still trying to decipher that one. I don't even really understand fully how the Haitian lottery works. I do need to figure that out because it's like how, like, I'm guessing they're just banking on people paying for it and putting money into it, and then you win the pool. So if it's like $50,000 worth of the shit that came in and you win, you get all that 50,000 or a cut of it. I don't know. I think that's how it works. And when I figure it out, I'll make a video. It's gonna take a while to figure it out because I don't think anybody want to tell me. They probably think I'm gonna call the feds or something. But oh wait, also I probably shouldn't be posting it publicly. But I mean, they're getting busted all the time. Like a lot of times you'll see them get shut down. Again, I know people that got deported because they were running these underground lottery places. So yeah. With that being said, comment down below. Do you know anyone that's obsessed with Bolet or any type of lottery system? What was your experience with it? And have you ever had any dreams of numbers? Because y'all, I've been missing out on mad fucking buddy. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys comment down below. Check out my other channels, join the membership, join the Patreon. Shout outs to all the investors. Shout outs to those of you guys on the membership or on the Patreon. We do have a $1 7-day trial. Some of y'all been taking advantage. I appreciate you so much because my Patreon is fire. Okay, like I got so much shit on there. And y'all, listen, definitely one of the best investments you will make. It is $5 a month for the most expensive tier. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. And yeah, I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.